Convicted Charleston church shooter Dylann Roof told a jury today, quote, "There's nothing wrong with me psychologically." Here to discuss that is forensic psychologist Javier Amador, the founder of the Leap Institute. Doctor, thanks for joining us. Dylann Roof gave an opening statement today in court. What did you make of it?
Well, he's not representing himself. What he's clearly representing is a delusion that I've talked about on your program before. And he's got this delusion that the black race is inferior, and like a soldier, he's out there to defend the white race and to begin a race war. I mean, what he described was in no way a case. It was in no way relevant to a death penalty phase of a death penalty trial. It was about, I'm not sick, I'm not mentally ill.
Yeah. My
lawyers are wrong about that, and what the prosecution presented is in no way a surprise to me about his remorse.
Why is it so important for him to present himself this way and that there's nothing psychologically wrong with him?
The most likely diagnosis he has is schizophrenia. I say that without being certain, but I am certain he has paranoid delusions. I've discussed this previously. When you look at his manifesto, he developed racist beliefs and this fight for the white race in a matter of hours, not over years. And if you look at experts who study these kinds of terrorists and white supremacists, it incubates over years, and typically white supremacists are much older than Dylann Roof, much older. We're talking in their 50s, 60s, and 70s. They associate with other white supremacists. So that's not in any way, shape, or form the picture here. And in fact, Don, I don't think anyone has commented on this yet. Not one prosecution witness was an expert on white supremacy. Nobody got on that stand and said, we've profiled Dylann Roof and he is a classic white supremacist. The prosecutors are saying that, but nobody who has profiled him is saying that.
It's interesting. You've heard of suicide by cop,
sure,
right? When,
of course. Evaluated people have done that.
People want to go out in a blaze of glory and have the police kill them. Some people are saying that it's suicide by trial, that he's looking for the death penalty.
They're trying to read something rational into something that is so wholly irrational. I mean, I love what Martin was saying. This is weird. This is remarkable. For me, this is commonplace when you're dealing with somebody with a serious mental illness who has no clue that he's mentally ill. He fires his attorneys. He's intelligent. He can be mentally ill and intelligent. He's not in treatment, so of course he's not expressing any remorse. Would a soldier express remorse for killing the enemy? His delusion, if you read his manifesto, is one that really places him at war, at a life or death struggle. And he killed the enemy. Now, this is a horrible, tragic crime, and I in no way want to diminish it or explain it, excuse it. But we do need to understand these things in order to stop them from happening again.
But you do believe he's racist? You believe he's racist?
Of course he's racist as a consequence of delusion, though.
Yeah, so
if he got
can have a mental illness, he can be racist, and he can also be bright at the same time.
Yeah, but there's two kinds of racism we're talking about here. He is racist as a human being. That's his belief. Or you give him antipsychotic medication for his delusion, and he's no longer racist. You know, I worked in the Jared Loughner case. Jared Loughner shot Gabby Gifford, shot and killed 6 people. He developed genuine, true, deep remorse after this horrific. What did the prosecution say today? He planned it. He had months of planning. He's got no remorse. He killed people because of the color of their skin. Jared Loughner had his reasons, months or weeks of planning. Same exact scenario, but the difference is he got treatment, he was found incompetent to stand trial, and he had remorse.
But he wrote a journal for 6 weeks,
yep.
Right? And so let's talk about this. In a part of it, he said, "I do not regret what I did. I am not sorry. I have not shed a tear for the innocent people I killed. I do feel sorry for the innocent white children forced to live in this sick country. I do feel sorry for the innocent white people that are killed daily at the hands of the lower races. I have shed a tear of self-pity for myself. I feel pity that I had to do what I did. In the first place, I feel pity that I had to give up my life because of a situation that should never have existed." So, besides that being completely odious, what do you make of this?
Again, in the context of all the behavior I've seen, the observations of him in court, the flat affect that we see in people with schizophrenia, his firing his attorneys, his fighting the mental health defense, and the delusion that I uncovered in his manifesto and other statements. I mean, 4 hours of interrogation I watched. This young man is delusional. He's at the classic age of the onset of mental illness, so of course he did not shed a tear.
Yeah.
Would you shed a tear if you shot a terrorist that was about to set off a bomb here in New York City? I wouldn't. I would shoot that terrorist, and I would stop them from So if you climb inside his mind, what do we know about it so far? We know his attorneys had him evaluated. He had to, from his perspective, endure 2 mental health evaluations. He's got a mental illness, is my view. And if you look at what you just read through the lens of paranoid psychosis or schizophrenia, of course he feels no remorse. Of course he's not shedding a tear because he's sick. If he was treated, he may very well feel a tremendous amount of remorse, but he's not being treated.
And there's a difference. So when you're from innocent people and for shooting a terrorist, you should feel remorse for shooting innocent people. You should not feel remorse for shooting someone who's.
I've worked with Iraqi veterans, Don.
Yeah.
One in particular I'm thinking of who shot and killed a family running through a roadblock. They ignored the warnings. They had 3 warnings. He followed the rules of engagement, and he killed innocent people. He felt terrible about it, but not as terrible as he would feel if he had done something that was truly, truly wrong. He was vindicated. He was not court-martialed. He understood it was a horrific accident, and it's a different kind of guilt.
In the moment.
It's a different kind of guilt. He was at war.
Is he simply, the prosecutors said he wanted to start a race war, Can it just be as simple as that he was a racist and that was his motivation?
Well, I would love to have seen some expert witnesses from the prosecution saying he is definitely a racist, and guess what? He's not associating with anybody, so how is he triggering a race war? What's his big plan there?
Thank you, Dr. Amador. Sure. I appreciate that. That's it for us tonight. Thanks for watching. I'll see you right back here tomorrow.